All right, and the next project we're gonna be getting started on is fixing up this old house. Howdy. So over here at the house and getting started today. First thing I'm going to be doing is pulling down these burglar bars that they have in about half the house. I have a good security system I put in over here, and I don't want this look. So they have these things mounted up with some security head screws. Let me get in close there. Okay, so they have these things mounted up with security head screws that have this little pin in the middle. It's a Torx with that little pin sticking out in the middle. So I have my handy set of security bits, all different styles. Let me get in close here so we can see these. Very precision bits, all sorts of different shapes. You see these a lot in public restrooms and just anything you don't want people messing with. You see them a lot at the airport, just many different government buildings. And so this one, like I said, it's gonna be a Torx. I've selected the right size here. You can see the bit has a hole in the end of it. So I'm gonna put that in the holder that came with the set. I'm gonna use my Milwaukee impact driver and I'm gonna start pulling these out. Okay, so right away, I've noticed that because the clearance getting into between the bar and the screw head, I really don't have much room in here. So I am putting the bit directly in there and you can see it's barely sticking out. So I'm gonna put that on there and it's gonna barely fit. I'll be able to break it free and then I can put that adapter on and catch an angle to slowly pull that out. All right, first set of burglar bars removed. It's little, but it's an accomplishment. Just starting to go through and clean up little things like this can really help to put a positive spin on something that has been frustrating you for a while. So try to plan out your work where you can get your little victories and then have some of your harder tasks. I find that works really well for me. Okay, on to the master bedroom. So same thing, gonna pull these 4 security head screws and get these burglar bars down. It just doesn't look good. And I don't think it's safe if there is an emergency and you need to get out of a house. I want to be able to get out through the window, or I want the fire department to be able to come in. I don't want to be trapped in a home. So these things are coming down. We're gonna be bringing this place up to the 2020s and get it out of the 70s. All right, moving on. And another one's gone. Oh, and if y'all saw that big vehicle sitting out there, not mine. Had a friend of mine call the other day. He's doing some work on a building he bought down the road. They're putting spray insulation, the whole thing this week. And he asked if I knew of a place where he could park that for a few days. When a friend asks for help, you try to help them. So that's what I did. All right, let me keep going at this. Also, while I'm still in here, I have a couple paint samples I put up on the wall yesterday. I put these in a few of the rooms around the house. Mixed up a sample of some Benjamin Moore Shaker Gray. Really like this. Think it's gonna go really well. I'm going for more of a contemporary look, which hasn't been my style, but wanna do something different in this house, have a little fun with it. In the kitchen, I'm going with stainless steel appliances. I'm going with some more modern ceiling fans I selected just to kind of have a full fun look in this place. So going with some gray tones in here. Really think this color is going to look great. So I'm excited. So yeah, like I said, the goal for this project is going to be giving this house a facelift on a budget. Okay, so this is something I've never seen before. So these curtain rods they had up here over this window, they have nailed in, folded the nails over to pin it up to the wall, and then they went over it with joint compound or something and then painted over it. So I'm having to break away all this patch material they had to get these things down. I hate fixing other people's mistakes, but it's part of doing things right. So here we go with more fun little demolition. So you'll see what someone did was they actually had the bracket for this curtain rod hanger. They embedded into the drywall, and then they put in several nails, folded them over this bracket to pin it into the wall. Just get a couple screws, get drywall anchors, and do this stuff right, please. Okay, here's a remodel tip. If you want blackout curtains and want to save some money, I guess you can just put up some aluminum foil. No, don't do that. Please don't do that. That was totally a joke. But apparently somebody in the past thought that was a great idea. So definitely fixing this. Cool, they left a bonus TV mount. Except I don't know who has a tube TV and a VCR anymore. So that's coming out too. Okay. All right. And that's the last of the burglar bars. So have those cleaned up. While I've been pulling those down, I've also been taking off the brackets for all of the curtain rods, taking down the blinds. We had the window back here that has been broken and filled in with cardboard and plywood for who knows how many years. We got that pulled out, it's cleaned up, cut a new piece of glass, got that all in, got it siliconed. So it's amazing, just taking down burglar bars, fixing a piece of glass has made this room considerably nicer than it was. So I think we're on the right track. Let's keep moving on. All right, so day one of demolition here at the house. So we're pulling everything outside right now as we're taking down a wall to expand the kitchen. So filling up the loader bucket here and taking it over to throw it all in the dumpster. Really busy day around here so far, getting these guys going. Been kind of a rough couple days here. For those of you who follow my store on Facebook, my dog Rusty passed away Monday night. I've had Rusty 14 years. It's been pretty tough dealing with this. So just kind of throwing myself into this project right now. Keep busy, so keeps my mind off things. So yeah, demolition is always a fun day. Getting all the cabinets moved out of the kitchen, seeing just how big the space is, and now getting this wall out of there and removing the drop ceilings. You know, you can find a lot of wasted space in an old house. So yeah, let me get this load dumped and I'll get back and I'll get another one and get this mess cleaned up. All right, stay tuned. Okay, so day one demolition is a wrap. Got the drop ceilings pulled down all the way around the kitchen. Got all the cabinets out, repositioning some electrical, and this wall is going to be coming out tomorrow. It's always funny when you start tearing things out, seeing what's hidden behind the walls. So apparently there used to be a pocket door right here separating the kitchen from a dining room. Man, I thought the kitchen was small as it was. It really would have been tight when there was a pocket door in there. So yeah, tomorrow I'm gonna continue demolition and gonna start putting some drywall back in. And it should start going back together. So not much demolition on this one. Like I said, doing this on a budget, just trying to get livable. Get in here and then I'll start working on a few things here and there just to make it a little fun. All right, see you tomorrow. Okay, so day number 2 of demo. The crew has gotten everything torn out in the kitchen. They're moving on to tearing out carpet, as I just showed you in the loader bucket here. I am redoing some gas lines in the kitchen, getting those repositioned for the range. And
could you try again?
Not talking to you. Okay, yeah, so we are, let me turn off that music. Okay, so in the kitchen, now that the crew has moved out of there temporarily, we are redoing some electrical, moving some light fixtures and receptacles around. As I mentioned, I'm repositioning some gas lines. Yeah, so it's pretty cool when you're working on an old house and you start doing the demolition. It starts to tell you a story of what's happened in that place over the years. So as I showed earlier from yesterday, we discovered when tearing out that wall that the kitchen has been remodeled in the past. There were the remnants of a pocket door and the framed opening for that doorway. And looking at where the gas, so obviously the kitchen used to be laid out completely different. Most likely didn't have anything on that wall or just very minimal cabinets. But where the pocket door was framed over, that's where the range was. So before that previous remodel was done, I know the range wasn't there. There was the valve on the wall where the gas line came out, and then behind the refrigerator was a capped off line coming out of the wall. So, you know, you don't know looking at that right off the bat, is it a gas line or is it a water line that was capped? Well, you know that if it's a gas line and it's metal piping, it should be black iron pipe. If it's water line, it should be galvanized. So there's a black iron pipe sticking out behind the where the refrigerator was. Yeah, so you're thinking, well, if the range wasn't where I saw it was before, maybe that's where the range originally was. That would make sense. So I cut a few holes in the wall right around both those lines. Sure enough, found a T in the wall, so I was able to shut off the gas to the house, you know, swap my cap, add a street 90 on there, and reposition things. and gonna put the range back in the location where it had been who knows how many years ago. So kind of fun. Yeah, if you like solving mysteries, things like that, remodeling just might be for you. All right, here we go. Okay, need some cable protectors. Here we go. These will work. All right, so the wall is all out in here. And then, like I was just mentioning, this is where the gas valve had been, and they had a line running over to the range. So when we had opened up the wall here, we saw there used to be a pocket door right about here, and the range was sitting right in the middle. So that was obviously moved there after this wall had been closed in at some point. So when I saw there was the gas valve here, and there was a line stubbed out over here right behind the refrigerator, I was hoping that there was going to be a T over here that where things used to go to the old location of a range. So that's exactly what happened. So I was able to pull the cap off of that line and remove the valve and the nipple that was coming through the wall, as well as the 90, cap that off, and then switched over, put a street 90 here, and my shutoff valve. Yeah, for those who don't know, just make sure when you're doing gas work, make sure you're using the proper pipe compound or yellow tape. The blue, the white Teflon tape that comes in the blue spool, that is for water line. Do not use that on gas. You need to be using the yellow tape when you're doing gas work. As I mentioned also, black iron pipe for gas line, galvanized for water. Do not switch those around. All right, so as always, if you're doing this kind of stuff, make sure you're following your local code. If you don't feel comfortable doing the work yourself, make sure you hire a plumber to do your water and gas line work. Get an electrician to do all your electrical work, or you can do your research. Make sure again that you're following your local code and best practices, and do it yourself in your home to save some money and time. All right, moving on. I am getting the water drained out of this old water heater right now. Amazingly, the drain valve on the bottom was not seized. That is pretty common, unfortunately, and having to move a water heater full of water out of your home is no fun. So thank goodness, like I said, that valve was not seized. I hooked up a garden hose, ran it out back, open the valve, and then open the pressure relief up here, which is allowing air into the tank, and the water is slowly draining out. So hopefully in the next 30 minutes, I'll have that all drained. I can start to disconnect this and get it moved out, and that'll allow more room for reconfiguring some things in this laundry area, and I'll be putting a brand new water heater in as well. All right, back to work. All right, got everything stripped off the water heater. Just one last fitting to take off. I can pull the supply line. I have the gas already disconnected. I've been draining all the water out of it outside, so we're just about done. I've already disconnected that supply line from the water heater, just taking it off from the wall while this drains out, and we're getting a dolly over here to make this thing easier to move outside. So getting closer to having the laundry room stripped out, and then we'll start getting a few things reworked in here, ready for the new water heater, ready for the washer and dryer. And then we have just a little bit more electrical to reposition in here. And then I'm gonna have all sorts of recessed lights that I'm gonna be laying out and cutting in the different rooms. Okay, here we go. All right, so it's the next day. I have been over here this morning doing a couple things, and then had a couple deliveries to run off on and had to pick up a door for the master bedroom for over here. But it's been a busy day with doing drywall work in here. So where the fur downs were torn out, getting all that closed up. Behind where the kitchen sink was last night before I left, I had sprayed some bleach in there and let that dry out overnight with a fan. But yeah, just moving along, making some good progress. This is only 2.5 days since we started the demolition. So yeah, it's looking good, and I'll show you what we've been doing in the bedrooms as well. All right, so it's end of the day on Friday, third day of the crew being here and us working on the house. They're gonna be shutting down for the weekend. I may do a little bit over here tomorrow, but they'll be back on Monday. But just wanted to go through and just do a little recap. So the drop ceilings on both sides of the kitchen are removed. We got rid of the old drywall behind the sink area, got that all replaced, tore out this wall between the kitchen and the dining room. So we've about doubled the kitchen square footage. Redid the gas line plumbing. Got new valves and everything on the connections for the sink. So everything in the kitchen now is going to be good to go as far as plumbing is concerned. Other than that, they have just been going around the house, working on fixing some of the texture on the ceiling. Like you can see there's a spot right here. All the carpeting is torn out of the rooms. There had been some quarter round molding that went all the way around the whole house. Got all that removed. So yeah, things are looking pretty good. And then yeah, I got the mirror down and the fixtures in here. Looks like they have a section to replace here in the bathroom in the ceiling. I got all the paint in that they're gonna need. We mixed up about 2/3 of it. Have that all shaken. So we have our ceiling paint, our trim paint, and our wall paint. So yeah, we're getting closer. Monday and Tuesday should be pretty exciting around here. I guess the plan is Monday to finish up the drywall work. And then Tuesday, I'm going to start painting the ceilings, the woodwork, and then finally the walls. So yeah, probably gonna cut this video off and do another one as we start next week with all the painting. So stay tuned. Keep following us, like, subscribe, share, all that's greatly appreciated. If you want to see more detail on certain things as I'm working on projects, let me know what you want to learn about. Do you want more focus on the tools that are being used, on the products? When we do get to the paint, I'm going to show you the Benjamin Moore products that we're using on this. So yeah, pretty excited. All right, see y'all next time.